This is part 2 of the project that will eventually get us to this point, which is our rusty dusty Sprinter van painted with Raptor Liner. But there was a lot of work to get to this finished product, so let's rewind. This week, we started with disassembling our roof setup, and then we actually reassembled a couple things on the van that we had already taken off because we needed to drive it to our DIY paint booth that we set up in part 1.
We've never once driven this into a garage. Hope it fits.
So that brings us to this part where we're in the paint booth and we can start really disassembling the van. We also take a grinder to the rear bumper and pinch weld to grind out some of the worst rust on the van and see what that process looks like. We're disassembling the roof. Should I go on the ladder for a little bit of it?
You're good. I got this for a sec here. This isn't bad to hold. You can set it down if you need to.
Okay, you can start to tilt it. I'm going to set it on the ladder. Alright, let go.
It's all you. Okay, well, Beck, I think I'm basically at the point where I can just start to,
Disassemble?
yeah. All right, oh my goodness, there's a caterpillar up here. There is a caterpillar living on our roof.
Oh, I'm stuck there.
If you get me something, I'll get him off, like a piece of paper or something. He looks like a little alien.
We just found this little guy on the roof. We'll go to a better home where there's like leaves and stuff to eat.
Two down, 2, 4, 6, there's like 10 more to go, at least. That's not bad though, that didn't,
No, that was pretty good.
that wasn't terrible. So we'll need a punch, because we need to punch that out now that we've got the head off of it. So hammer and a punch, and patience. And some wire cutters if you could. Thank you very much.
He's always there for you.
Next move
is the Starlink. So we're probably going to leave the aluminum plates on the roof until we go to paint the van, because they're sealed, like weather tight, and I don't really want to put holes through the roof right now prior to us going to paint it. there a nest under our Starlink?
I don't think
Nope.
so. Looks perfect.
It does. It's not even that dirty under there.
No, it's really not.
Cool.
That's
Well-
such a great mount instead of like what other people have done. Like
No.
what came out first.
That's the dish. Cut open so that the drive motors are gone. And then it's just flat mounted in a 3D printed thing. So this is all this black is 3D printed. We painted it white. And the dish mounts in it. And then it mounts to the roof using these aluminum blocks. It's pretty freaking convenient.
Okay, well that was like the last thing.
Yeah.
So far from home.
Well, it's a little bit premature to be putting these fenders back on here because we obviously haven't painted the van yet, but we're actually not going to be painting the van in this location. So as you guys have seen, we've gotten the paint booth kind of set up at another spot, and it's time to drive the van there. So we've got to put the fenders back on, headlights, bumper, because honestly with the bumper especially, the easiest way to move the bumper is on the van. That's our plan. Fenders back in, we'll drive it there, and we'll take them off again. So they're relatively easy to put on and off. I think there's probably 10 bolts altogether.
All right.
Alright. Both plugged in. Good stuff. This is the first time we've ever put the van in a garage, ever. Isn't that kind of funny?
Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
We've never once driven this into a garage. Hope it fits.
Honestly, it still looks like,
We still got lots of room right now.
yeah.
Not bad. Two-handed painting. No. I think that this is like a nice distance right here. I think this wall could either be, I think it might be, I don't know.
Well, I think it's getting blown in to have that door open right now.
The goal was that we could still open the doors and walk around with the door closed. And I think we're going to be able to do that. The van can go forward at least another 2 feet. And then we'll have tons of room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this isn't bad. Man, oh man, this is crazy. Isn't this insane that we're actually going to be painting this thing? Well, I gotta say, starting today off working inside the booth and not outside in the rain is something I've never felt before, working on the van. Usually it's whatever weather it is, and we're working. But anyway, today's day one of being inside the paint booth, and we are going to try to disassemble the van as much as we can, essentially. So the bumper's gonna come off, the headlights, the grille, the front fenders, the mirrors, the taillights, maybe some door handles, just who knows. But today is a day to disassemble a lot of stuff so that we can sand the entire van with an undecided grit of sandpaper yet. I think it's likely going to be 220. And then we're going to try to tackle all the rust and then go from there. So there's not a whole lot of rust on this vehicle, thankfully. There's enough that we do have to pay attention to how we do it. But anyway, today's the day and we're working inside. And I don't even have words for this. This is awesome.
So Nick is just working on the driver's side now, and while he's doing that, I'm gonna take the hood wrap off. There was a big dent in the hood when we got the van, and it was rusted, and it was just a problem, but we didn't want to have to paint the whole hood to try and match the van, so we ended up just bondoing the big dent, and then we put wrap on, and it's been on for like 4 years. It might be a little tricky to get off, but it's gotta come off.
It's coming out. So this little front glass window here, they come out quite easy. It's kind of surprising.
Kind of scary.
I think we did this corner before. Okay, just don't flex it too far.
No, you're gonna get it right now. You just pull on it. It's gonna be right up.
Okay, let's do this corner.
What the heck?
And that's that.
You
Like an
just
old
break
school.
into a car.
Yeah, this is what they say to do sprinters. They just punch this glass out. They say if you forget your key, put a slit, a slit, a slit, and a slit in all four corners. You can kind of pry this whole thing back and pop the window out from the outside. So you can like break into your own car if you've lost your key without breaking the window.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, just put a little bit of super glue on the corners of your trim piece. So anyway, the window
So silly.
just slides inside of it. Alright, well, give me 10 minutes and we'll have this one out. Okay. So, to remove the window in the Sprinter van, any Sprinter van, this goes from like 2007, I think, all the way probably to present, because I think they're very similar. So, once you've got the door panel off, you have to peel back this, and then you'll get to where we are now. Rolled the window down, that's when you can see the actual window regulator mechanism and the bolts that hold the glass to it. So, right down here, we are going to remove that bolt and this bolt. And I don't think they have to be removed completely, but you do have to kind of get in here and wiggle some stuff and just make sure that the glass isn't, there we go, stuck to it, just because they've been together for an awfully long time. So now that we've got the glass kind of freed up, we will begin. We've got one here, two here. Those are the nuts. And then we've got a bolt. And we've got another bolt kind of tucked in here. Right there. And that is all that holds the window regulator mechanism. So what we want to do is we want to make sure there's no wires hooked up to this thing at all. There's not. We've unplugged the regulator motor itself. So from here, we start taking stuff off.
You're like a little professional.
It's honestly kind of crazy how comfortable you can be doing things that you have no idea doing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing at all, but it's kind of fun. And I guess we're taking our time. We've got the privilege to have it inside. It's amazing. We don't have to have these windows in by the end of the day because it's not going to rain inside. I think that alone is what's kind of letting us do this. I don't think otherwise we would have removed these windows, to be honest. All right, we've got the nuts. There's one. There's two. So now I will need Becky to help me. So back to the GoPro. So we're gonna lift the window up.
All the way?
Yep, right to there. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
We should switch sides. It's okay. Okay. Regulator out. So now you can let that down slowly. My hand's under here, it won't fall. Okay. So now the window comes down in line with the tracks. And we let it.
Have it all.
Yeah, I got it all. We're gonna let it go all the way down into the door cavity. Because then it's kind of gonna lift it back out
There you go.
of the hole. And there we go. Windows out. Okay, so now we want to remove all this trim. And the front, from what I did on the other side, I think is basically free. And the back is not. There's one little clip back in here. Okay, there's one side up. Pull the other side up. Just kind of work it together. Okay, cool. So that is separate. That piece.
Huh.
Keep going. We've got the whole thing.
Well,
Pretty crazy. I never in my life thought I would be taking this apart in this van. It was kind of an impulse decision. I've thought about this many times. It's kind of like when I fall asleep at night. That's when I start thinking about how I'm going to take apart the van. Because I've known we were going to do this for a long time. And I told myself I would just do it. I would just take these apart. So here we are. They're apart. And we didn't break them, which is fantastic. Which means we don't have to buy new ones. Oh, man. What a relief.
I feel like we make jobs bigger than they need to be.
Oh, 100%. We're doing it like a professional job here, which is fine. We have the space to do it. We're learning a lot. This is wicked.
Okay.
Man,
Cool.
crazy. The other side took like 45 minutes. This side took all of 10. And there's no information online how to do this.
Now there can be.
There can be because of us. Will there be? Maybe. Well, we are back. It's another day. So, turn the fan off quickly. We are in the middle of a heat wave here in Nova Scotia right now. And I believe today is about 32 degrees, maybe warmer. And we're in a barn with no insulation, so it's nice and toasty in here today. But anyway, we're trying to get the van as prepped as we can so that when the heat wave finally breaks, we will maybe begin painting. Today we're going to try to take out the taillights. I've already got the rear wipers off. That was a bit of a struggle, but they're done. This door handle has to come off. The Blue Tech badge has to come off. Some latches have to come off. This door seal behind me has to come off. The sliding door seal has to come off along with its door handle, and the passenger door seal and its foot panel or kind of like side step to get in the vehicle. So, and then we basically just got to clean, and sand, and clean and sand, and clean and sand. So that's today's goal. It's a big one, but we're gonna get it done. So first things first, taillights coming out. The taillights are pretty easy to remove. We've had them out several times just to replace light bulbs and things like that. You have to basically take the taillight out to change it. So first things first, there's the 3 screws up the side of the tailgate or taillight. You kind of pull it out and it's done. Unplug it. Just like that, unplugged. So I'm just gonna tuck that wire back inside there and we'll put a piece of tape over that hole and that'll be done. So tail light out, let's do the same thing to the other side. Second one removed. Pretty easy to remove these things really. Alright, rear door seal, we'll put this over somewhere in storage. Holy crap, this is a big job. Alright, I gotta figure out what's next.
So since this area is completely covered with a plastic trim piece afterward, we decided to use it as a little test area with grinding out the rust and treating the rust. We wanted to see what that process looked like and what steps we might have to follow next.
I'm going to do my best to remove all of this rust down here. So I'm just going to use an angle grinder and a wire wheel. Alright, so as you can see, this is kind of what we're working with. So this is like everything I just did. And you can really see, you know, the grinding marks and stuff. And then I stopped halfway through right here so you can kind of get a better idea. So you can see the rust, and then here we did our best to kind of remove all the rust. So then we'll rust convert it. So this basically just needs to be grease and wax removed, cleaned basically. And then we'll apply our rust converter to it. And you know, this whole area here, like this is all flaky. So you can see here it's got some pitting. By looking at that, you can kind of see the pitting in it compared to over here where it's smoother. But anyway, not a big deal. This is covered by the bumper trim. We're just doing this so that this doesn't rot out underneath of our bumper and we don't see it happening. So as you can see, quite a bit of spots, like here, all these spots here. And then if you take a peek underneath, actually, we did some more. Right down here, actually, we've got some unfortunate things, but that's gonna be just fine. That's actually a hole all the way through. So is this little baby one there, but that's it. Just those like 3 or 4 spots, so that's okay. Anyway, it is time for me to have a lunch break. Catch you guys in a bit.
You want that bench moved? Alright, well, I think that is a wrap for day. I don't know what day it is, to be honest. We've been here for a while. The doors are closed. It's actually starting to rain. It's supposed to rain pretty heavily this afternoon. So van's been rush treated. Nick's been cleaned.
Get clean, Dawn dish soap.
And I think we're gonna head out and yeah, let the rust treatment sit until we come back probably tomorrow or Monday. That's the plan.